Hello everyone, welcome to Sunshine Garden. Today, I will share with you the correct way of pruning tomatoes. Because the tomatoes are properly pruned, will make the tomatoes grow bigger and nicer. Yield will be higher. Can be one tree top 3 trees. But if the pruning method is wrong, instead, it halved its output. First we have to avoid a common mistake. Many people may not know. Tomatoes contain determinate and indeterminate 2 categories. If you use the traditional method to prune determinate tomatoes, it would be counterproductive, lead to a decline in production. The reason is, they have a limited number of branches and flowers, and its real growth point is on the side branches. So what is a determinate tomato? The determinate tomato plants are bred to stop growing, usually somewhere around 3-4 feet tall. When flowers blossom at the tips of the branches, the plant has reached its full height. The fruit ripens all at once, e.g. Roma tomatoes. They generally do not need to be trimmed and remove the suckers. But you can prune some leaves close to the soil, or yellow leaves, so as not to cause them to touch the ground, or cause other diseases. In contrast, indeterminate tomatoes need to be pruned. If trimmed properly, yield will be higher. Indeterminate tomato is just like its name, constantly outgoing. Some can grow to 2 meters or higher. It didn't stop them from growing until the frost hit. And as the plant grows, will grow a lot of suckers. The sucker is between the main stem and the leaf branch. These suckers may grow into fruiting stems, but in the end will be a bunch of tangled leaves and very small fruit. Because of the appearance of too many branches and fruits, it will reduce the quality of tomatoes. We better trim them. Such as Big Boy, Early Girl, and I planted this year, Beefsteak tomato, and most of the cherry tomato. These are indeterminate tomatoes. As for how to distinguish between determinate and indeterminate tomatoes, I will share with you at the end of the video. Let's first take a look at the benefits of indeterminate tomato pruning. After trimming, first, let each leaf have sufficient growth space and ventilated. The second is, the absorbed nutrients can be used directly in the developing fruit. The third can improve the efficiency of plant photosynthesis. Finally, it can reduce the occurrence of diseases, reduce the spread of bacteria and fungi. So many benefits of pruning. Then when to start pruning, and how to trim it. I usually wait for the tomato to grow its first flower, then start pruning. Some conservative people may wait until the first fruit set, then start to prune. In the beginning, tomatoes are still in the period of rooting and growing leaves. We can't prune too early. Let it have more branches and leaves to absorb nutrients, for its roots and branches to grow stronger. After the tomato plant have already set and stabilize, then we are going to trim so many suckers and leaves those close to the soil, otherwise it will consume too much nutrition. There are several ways of pruning. I will share with you. Then choose one you like. The first type is single pole pruning. There is only one main stem for each plant. Remove all the suckers. This method has less fruits. But if you don't have space for planting, and it is too dense, you can consider this way. It will produce bigger fruit. The second is the double pole pruning method. Except for the main stem, only keep the first sucker, which is under the first flower. Remove all the suckers. This sucker will grow very fast. Soon it will grow to the size of the main stem. Some even surpass the main stem. This way requires more space, but the fruit will be more. Maybe the fruit will be slightly smaller. The third method is called 1.5 pruning method. Improved single pole pruning method. Same as the double pole method. Keep the first sucker under the first flower. The difference is that after this side branch produce 1 to 2 bunch of fruits. Keep 2 leaves then topping. This is a combination of single pole pruning and double pole pruning. Both early maturity and high yield. If you have enough space and give enough fertilizer and water, you can also consider keeping more side branches, but no more than 3 to 4. To understand that, the sucker which is closer to the first flower will be stronger. Here, I also want to remind everyone of some pruning precautions. Number 1, pruning it at noon in a sunny day. Because the temperature is higher at noon, the wound will heal faster after trimming. Number 2 is, before pruning, our hands and scissors is better to clean with soap, or use disinfectant to spray it. Now, maybe some friends will ask, how do I know which type I grow? If you are buying seedlings to grow, generally there is a label description. Look at the variety of this beefsteak tomato. Indeterminate is marked here. Indeterminate. So it needs trimming and removing suckers. If it's grown by buying seeds. There are also instructions on the packaging. For example, this little yellow tomato I bought. Here is also written as indeterminate. If you didn't pay attention to the label or package instructions, have already threw them away, then we can also distinguish from the following points. The first is what I mentioned above. Determinate tomatoes grow shorter, and the indeterminate tomato will grow taller and taller. The second is, check tomato leaves. The leaves of determinate tomatoes are usually closer on the stem. Make them look denser. Indeterminate tomatoes, the leaves will be more spaced. The third is to check the output of flowers and fruits. If the tomatoes bloom at the same time, and grow all the tomatoes at the same time, then it is a determinate tomato. On the other hand, indeterminate tomatoes will continue to grow and produce more flowers and fruit until the first frost comes. Hope today's sharing is helpful to everyone. Friends who like my video, please like, forward and subscribe. Thank you for watching.